training. We're going to do it. It's like a coring, okay? So we've got a lot of the people that we're working with, Andrew, myself, and what's his name? I forget already. Who's the guy who comes up also?
Dana?
Your best friend, Dana. All right, there we go. So we got Dana, Andrew, myself. We all, work with all of you guys. And so what we want to do, and we have some special guests that our special guest speaker brought. So what we're going to do is, one of the things, and everybody knows this, I've been over this a million times, and I'll go over it a million more times until you start doing it. Okay? So the thing is when you first come into the business, you've got 10 days. We give everybody 10 days. When you bring a new business partner into the business, you've got 10 days to get a possibility list of 60 to 300 names. Okay? We don't send them home and say, okay, make a names list, all the people you can think of, yada, 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 because what happens? Number one, first on the list is they don't do it. Number two, they bring back a what? A chicken list, a short list of all the people that I know, and all the people I can think of. These are the only people I can think of that might even be interested in this business. And you just got into the business today. How do you know? You with me? But yet we leave that, we let them do that, you see? And then all of a sudden, when they talk to the 3, 4, 5, 6 people, and they get a no, I'm not interested, no, I'm not interested, no, I'm not interested, and more than likely they said no to something they didn't know what they were saying no to, okay? But they said no because they had preconceived ideas about what this was. And the brand new person screws it all up. So who knows what was said? But they get a no. So now all of a sudden they're down to what? They're down to 2 people because they brought a chicken list of 6. Now they have 2 people. And we sell product and we do what? We recruit and sponsor and look for business partners that are going to sell product. Am I right? And now all of a sudden they're down to 2 people and that's all they've got. And basically, and what do you need in this business? In order to grow a sales and distribution organization, 2 lines of distribution, you've got to have what? People. If you don't have people, you're out of business. So it's critical that we, right off the get-go, they get a names list, a possibility list of 60 to 300 names right off the get-go, and they need to add two every day, 5 days a week, okay, or 10 a week. Now remember, these are not prospects. So we're calling this, okay? These are not these are just names. You with me? Just names. We're just looking for names. We may never even get to talk to them, but we've got them just in case, am I right? Now, how do you think you would feel if I said pull out your names list and you had 6 names, okay? Well, if everybody else has 6, or how would you feel if you had 380 names? You feel like you're operating from a stronger position, am I right? Don't you feel like, because guess what? The no's don't hurt. If you got 6 names and you get 5 no's, it hurts real bad, doesn't it? But if you get 5 no's and you have 380 names, whatever. That's not what I would say, but whatever. Okay? Does everybody follow me? Okay. So what this is about social searching. Okay? What we're trying to do is find people that may be interested in improving their financial situation. Okay? By being what? Owning their own business, right? And we're looking and searching for people that what? We're going to sell product to. Okay? Because we sell product and we sell the business to people. But we've got to have names. Okay? And that's really what this is all about. Okay? The focus on getting names and then what to do with those names, as we go on. Okay? So, without further ado, I'm going to introduce the Director of Internet Sales and Training, okay, Sarah Rose Stack. Very, very knowledgeable of the business, a big money maker in this business. She makes a lot of money, okay, and she's busting it right now. And she's like, they brought in over 80 business partners in the last 12 months. And she's going to share with you here exactly how she did it through social search. social searching. I didn't say social much. Okay? Has everybody got that? Okay. Sarah wrote that.
Okay, so before we do that, can you just introduce yourself? I'd like to know who's in the room because I don't want today to be a lecture. I feel like with social media, I don't know if you agree or disagree, but with social media, you really learn by doing it and by making mistakes. And when you take this back to your teams and to your people, I want you to do it this way as well. Don't sit them down. Connie, how many times have we sat down and I've given you a tutorial on Twitter? I've done it once or twice, but did you remember anything? No. Exactly. When do you remember things? When you do it and you make a mistake and you go, somebody retweeted me. I said, no, Connie, they favorited your tweet. You know what I mean? And she's like, it's someone I don't know. No, Connie, that's somebody you know. You gotta read, like, you know, the actual name behind the handle. So I want to be able to go through 4 parts of this, but before we do that, we got to go through a couple of fundamentals, if that's okay. Because if you're like most distributors in this business, you probably didn't start off your adult life thinking, I'm going to be an internet entrepreneur, or I'm going to own an online business, or maybe you do something in addition to this. Is that fair? My background is as a dancer. I was an off-Broadway dancer here in the city, and grew up in New Jersey, and I went to school in Massachusetts for ballet. Met my husband, who was a musician. He was studying music education, on track to be a blue man, all this great stuff, and we're artists, you know what I mean? And so when we started our business, we did that because, well, we were very much, you know, collegely in love, skipping class, all that stuff, and I was 20 and I got pregnant. And that got real serious real fast. Does that make sense? And so, you know, luckily, honestly, the professor of theater, the director of the department said, if you want, you know, to make enough money to support a family, and also, how about this, if you want to not hate your career, you got to figure out a way to make money. Isn't that true? A lot of people would love their careers more if they didn't actually depend on it for money. Does that make sense? And so I really liked that idea, by the way. So just think about that when you're thinking about the prospecting that you're doing. I think if someone had come at me and said, hey, your boss sucks, your job sucks, your career is stupid, I would have been like, you know, like, that's all good, walk away. You know what I mean? Not everybody wants to fire their boss. I wasn't that way. I was dancing off Broadway. I was very happy, very proud of what I was doing. And so I'm very happy that somebody didn't come at me that way, or I would have missed this opportunity, and how sad would that have been? You know, and so, you know, your income, the money that you make, and your career and what you do because you love it are not necessarily correlated. And we have to remember that when we're prospecting one-on-one, and, you know, face-to-face or online or whatever. That's really, really, really important. And we have to think about that when we're branding ourselves online. And I think that's the #1 mistake that distributors make, or franchise owners make, is they start this business and they forget who they are, and they plaster their entire social media platform with business, 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 product, 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 and then all of a sudden, what do you think that does to your friends, your family, your coworkers? Turns them off, right? And then when you try to implement some of these strategies that have been really, really helpful for our team, and you start private messaging people or commenting, guess what they do? They ignore you. You know why? Because all they see is product, 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 business, business, business. So you lost the whole social aspect of social media. It's not going to work for you anymore. You can't lose sight of who you are. You are not a single brand. You are not this company. You are not, you know, you're not no longer who you are. And that's really like the most important thing. And it's really that simple. And so the way that I do it and the way that you do it is going to be similar in strategy, but our brands are different. Does that make sense? Yep. And by the way, we're not just one brand. And you guys know Lauren Breidinger, like, she nails this. She's the director. I mean, she created Motives, but when you go to her profile, all you see is about motives? No, she's like an entrepreneur. She's a mogul. She's a fashionista. She's a business owner. She's, you know, a makeup guru, a health guru. She does all this stuff. She's branded herself that way. And so when I, you know, thought about how I wanted to approach my social media platforms 2-3 years ago, that's what I wanted to do. I didn't want to box myself into just a business opportunity or just a single product or something like that. So I specialize in web centers as far as product sales. You know, we've sold over 200 websites. But when you go to my profile, you might not get that right away because that's not all I post about, right? But my friends keep me in mind. I just sold a website to a church in Pennsylvania from a kid that I went to high school with in New Jersey that's been keeping up to me and that just knew that we did some website stuff on the side. You know what I mean? Because that's branding. That's not alienating your market. That's keeping people in the loop. So I just want to know who's in here, if that's cool. So if you just say your name, what you do, where you're from, that kind of thing, just so I can kind of get an idea, that'd be great.
Connie, neighbors.
Yeah.
Agawam, Mass, made the trek, and fairly new business.
And retired cop, right?
Retired police officer. Yeah.
Cool.
So this is on bigger and better things.
My name is Aurora. I used to be on a reality show.
Cool.
Now I'm just writing a book and doing a radio show. And
Sweet.
I'm Kiara. I am a brand and media consultant. I also own my own dance company as well.
Lovely.
And I have a 14-year-old daughter who just got her first job this week.
Awesome.
I'm Vanessa. I work for the city on children's services.
Great.
My name is Samantha, executive assistant. I also have my own like crochet business.
Debbie Lorenzo, and I'm a social worker, not formal like that. And this is my son who actually wrote his business.
Awesome. Wow. You guys look like siblings. I've met you before.
Yes, at the fly training.
Yes.
Good job.
My name is Carlina Zacharias. I have two wonderful children, and just starting a new week because I got tired of working.
It's exhausting.
my name is Jackie. I'm a little boy as well.
Okay.
I've been in business as an administrator in the building department for 16 years now. And I too am a little bored. So that's why I'm starting to do it.
Nice.
My name is Fanny. I own 2 barbershops and 1 nail salon, and I'm also a director of student accounts at a college.
Oh, fun. So you're not busy. Love it. Love it.
I'm Robert Nunez. I'm a real estate developer by trade and super bad and sometimes. I have 2 children, 4 and a girl, and enjoy this.
I'm Lisa, and after I started this in college, probably like even up there, I decided I wanted to do this pretty much full time, because I'm in love with it.
Good. Love that.
My name is Ian Prodigy. I'm a college student, and I also work for the city of New York Light Club.
What are you studying?
Business administration.
Nice.
Holly Borelli, I'm an esthetician from Massachusetts, also a business partner upstairs, for almost 2 years. And I have a daughter, a 6-year-old daughter.
My name is Sarah McKay, I'm from Massachusetts as well. I'm Holly and Sarah's team, and I work for Wall Street Aerospace. I work a ton of ridiculous hours. I just turned in my steel toes and my forklift license for an office job. And I had to retire from bartending for 16 years because the schedule was so insane. And I started doing this really very well, and I love all the products, and I just want to succeed with my teammates.
So I'm still in high school. I'm used to the business, so
I'm telling you flat out, I started this in college and people like looked at me like it was crazy and they all called me up like 3 years ago. Okay, you still doing that thing? I'm still doing it. Just stick with it. You're gonna find that your network right now, they may not be ready. That's okay. You wanna work past them and through them, and don't disregard them, but not all of them are gonna be ready, but just please don't get discouraged. I'm telling you, everybody that told me it was crazy, they're all like, can you help me? No, you know what I mean? So, yeah, good for you, Sonny, that's hot.
Denise Cruz, research administrator for Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center, and mother of 1 son, and full full-time.
Rebecca Jackson, I do pharmaceutical sales full time,
Oh, nice.
and I'm looking for something different.
Everybody knows Elsie. Elsie is super queen, smart, she runs things. Okay. Well, did you guys notice, by the way, we're going around the room, we're introducing ourselves, and most people, when they describe who they are, they say their name, they say what they do, they talk about family, and they talk about immediate things that are very important to them. That's your brand. All right, so it's very interesting, and a lot of people in this room did that, but I've done this in other rooms, and when I tell people to talk a little bit about themselves, introduce themselves, a lot of people just say, hi, I'm Sue and I'm a nurse. And they describe their entire life by what they do for work. You guys ever notice that? You ask people like who you are or what you do and that's what they say. This guy is like, I do this and I'm super dad. I have 2 kids as well. I have a 9-year-old and I have a 6-year-old. My 9-year-old played football for her husband last year, and it's like when we think about who we are, that's who we should be branding on social media. It's critical because if you don't brand all of you, then people will not pay attention. And one more thing before we get into this. So Kevin mentioned something that for us and our team was the difference between slow recruiting and massive recruiting. We talked about how we brought on over 80 partners in the past year. It's more than that. That's just what we counted very quickly before a presentation we did at World Conference. But here's the deal. Why do you think, think about psychologically, why do you think people don't put more than 6 to 10 names on their list? Why don't they put everybody that they know? What are they afraid of? Judgment, right? And why are they afraid of the judgment? Do you guys know? They're afraid because they don't understand the process. When we tell them, hey, it's just a name, they don't believe you, right? They don't believe you because they're thinking, no, you're going to make me call this person and ask him to see the plan. Well, that's not what the process is. That's recruiting. That's not what we do, right? What do? We prospect, recruit, and sponsor. And so when you write a names list and people give you a names list of 10, immediately you have to understand why they're doing that. It's not that they don't know people, it's that they don't trust you with their names list because they think that you're going to make them call them up and see the plan or buy a product right away. But that is the goal, right? We want them to see the plan, we want them to eventually buy a product, but in order to have permission to do that, we first have to warm up the market. And so that's something very critical to keep in mind. And when you see this process, you're going to understand why we went from people that came to the table with very little names to people that were willing to come to the table with 100 or more names. Because they understood the process and they were like, okay, that I can do. And that's why they engaged in the right activities, and that's why they were able to recruit. Hey, Kev, do you have like a clicker or a space bar or something?
Do I have what?
Some way to advance.
Oh, a clicker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hit next, that's cool.
There we go.
Okay, so
There's my clicker.
I love it. I love it.
Just go.
All right, so here's the deal. We're going to do a workshop today, a social media workshop, and it's going to be kind of in 4 parts. We're going to talk about the importance of active posting, talking to your warm market, and this idea of hashtag searching. Have you guys heard of hashtag searching and the process? Well, before we can do that, we need to understand the importance of having an active profile. Has anybody ever been private messaged or commented on by someone that they don't know? Are you necessarily thrilled about it? Exactly. Right? And then what do you do if somebody that you don't know reaches out to you? You either block them, you cut them off, or if you're curious, where do you go? You check out their profile. Right? So you're going to go to their profile. If you go to that person's profile and it's not active, what are you going to immediately think in your head? This is a spam.
Yeah.
Right? This is not a real person. They're spamming me. They're trying to get you to buy a product, but they can't even make a status update. This is not a real person. And so we can't really talk about hashtag searching until we understand how important it is to even have an active profile, because if you're going to be working with people that you don't know, then you need some level of professionalism and a way to build trust and rapport right off the bat. It's harder than working your warm market. Do you agree? Because you're starting from ground zero and you're building from nothing into something. So we think about, hashtag searching and we think, oh, well, maybe it's easier because it's not my friends, it's not my colleagues, it's not people I know. It's harder. It takes more work. So we're going to start from here, we're going to grow from there, and then we're going to end at hashtag searching. And after I talk about each section, we're going to try it, we're going to make some mistakes together, and then if you run into any challenge, raise your hand, I'll come help you. We'll work through it. And if it's a good teaching moment, we'll just stop and talk about it. Does that sound like a plan? It's like a call workshop, but online. Better. We actually call ours a contact workshops now. We don't call them call workshops anymore. In the youngins ones, we call them contact workshops. And we wear purple. So, the first step is to have an active profile. How many people in the room have a Facebook? Great. How about Instagram? Anybody Instagram? Anybody Twitter? Okay. So my favorite is Instagram. How many people have Instagram? That's my favorite, right? But wouldn't you agree that you probably have 4 times as many people you're connected with on Facebook than Instagram? Great. So as a business owner, keep that in mind. All right, we're posting on Instagram all the time, and that's great. That's fun. And we've met our first UK partners on Instagram, like some random person in London, right? Hashtag London, whatever. You know what I mean? We'll meet people, and Twitter as well. But the reality of it is that our warm market, we have like I have over 4,000 people that I'm connected with on Facebook. So even though I hate Facebook, I hate it. I think it's so like clunky compared to Instagram. I don't like it as much, but I'm posting on it every day, and I'm communicating on it every day, not because I like it, but because it's a smart business move. That's where the people are. Your grandmother's on Facebook, so you should be too. You know what I mean? So questions to just ask yourself. Is your profile active? Are you posting at least once a day as a person, right? Not just a business post, just a post in general. Yes or no? Second, is it professional? And by professional, I mean, is this depicting you in a professional manner? Not professional business-wise, like are you depicting yourself as, you know, the lord of unfranchised owners? That's not what I mean. I mean, you know, is there pictures of you doing keg stands on your profile? If so, delete them, right? And that's something we gotta be careful. People tag us in things, you gotta untag yourself sometimes. You know, a nice little general rule is leave your phone in the car after midnight, you know, that kind of stuff. You want it to be, you know, you want your profile to be how you want to be represented professionally, socially, all of those things. I like to think of it as like the best version of yourself. Does that make sense? So, not to be fake, but you know, nobody needs negativity anyway. So people have accused me, they're like, oh, whatever, all you talk about is happy things. Well, what do you want me to do? Like, air my dirty laundry out on Facebook? Like, that's so lame. Who does that? Like, unless you're 18, right? No offense. Yeah. If people do that, I immediately block them from my newsfeed. It drives me nuts, you know what I mean? But like, I don't do that. That's not who I am. And yeah, I have bad days. I had a horrible day yesterday. I was like vibrating. Kevin called me, and then at the end of this crazy day, like my son got put in to pitch in a baseball game, and he hasn't pitched in 2 months, and he did horribly, and I was just sitting there like, ah, like this is the worst day ever. And he was like, I could just see him unraveling, right? I could see him unraveling on the baseball mound, and I'm like falling apart inside because I just want to run out there and be like, dude, it's okay, like you're an awesome first baseman, don't worry about it. But you know, but I was having a really bad day, and then that happened, and then also I got a reminder, oh, you have a webinar at 8:30, and I was like, this day is not going to end ever. Like, you know what I mean? But I'm not up on Facebook talking about how the world is horrible and like, you know, I'm down on my luck or whatever, because I don't want my prospects going to my profile and being like, wow, she complains a lot. Right? And by the way, if you complain a lot, what are you going to attract? Complainers. People that want to be like, I totally know what you're talking about. My sister-in-law, case in point, everything is somebody, she's like a permanent victim, right? You guys know any permanent victims? Do you know any successful victims? Exactly. So that's not who I'm trying to attract, that's not who I'm trying to work with. So I ask you, is your profile, you know, depicting you professionally? Yeah?
Is it okay to post something like in news, like if it's a case or something? Is that?
I like that. That's a great question. I think that every once in a while, if you're passionate about something, it's fine. But one of the things that I find is that when you post about politics, religion, or government, or those kinds of things, that you automatically, without fail, you alienate 50% of the people on your list. You know what I mean? So it's okay to do once in a while. It really is. But if, you know, and that's a really great point. Once in a while, no big deal. But like, I have a neighbor that we were going to sponsor, and I said, Ryan, no, I don't want her on my team. Like every day it was some child abuse case, some this case, some whatever case, and I'm like, oh my God, I cannot even go to your profile without wanting to throw up. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, because it's sickening. You read these horrible stories every single day. Heather, I won't say my name. Because it's like being recorded. But like, you read these names every single day, and then you're like, can you just picture this girl trying to prospect? And people go to her profile, and that's all you read about is negative stuff. You know what I mean? So professional. Are you going to come across as a real person or some sort of walking advertisement? Right? Because there's a very, very clear and distinct difference between social media marketing for a brand and social media marketing as an unfranchised owner. Do you understand? Like if you were marketing, was it you? Yes. If you're marketing a makeup line, you own the brand, let's say you're marketing motives, would you agree the kinds of posts that you make on that profile would be very different than Lisa as an unfranchised owner?
Yeah, of course.
Of course.
Well, I'm me and she's Lisa.
Yeah, and the brand is the brand and a person is a person.
Exactly.
It's a thing and a person. They're two totally different things. So if all you talk about is a particular product or a particular business opportunity, you become a brand, and that's not prospecting anymore. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
These are big mistakes that new unfranchised owners make. Does that make sense? And so when you have new people coming in, they're like, well, I'm posting and nobody's responding. Well, you're doing it wrong. You are not Market America. You're not shop.com. That's part of what you do, but you're also all these other things. Okay? And by the way, and finally, is your profile going to support your hashtag searching, or is it going to get in the way of your hashtag searching because you're not going to come across as a real person? So we can go ahead and click forward. Thank you. So active posting. You must have an active posting strategy, whatever it is. You know, everybody has their own thing, but I believe in this 80-20 rule. I believe social media is social. 80% of what you post needs to be about your lifestyle, about things that you do, all that stuff, and 20% should be product placement kind of things, business kind of things, and that's going to attract people to want to know more about what you do. And I made this switch about, gosh, like two Augusts ago, and that's the difference between when I was getting nobody to want to know more about the business online and everybody asking me. So I call myself the fisherman of the family. People are constantly, I'm just like throwing out bait, right? People are like, what the heck are you doing? What are you doing? Or, oh, I love that makeup, blah, blah, blah. Or, hey, you said you were traveling, your stomach was really hurting and you took something. What did you take? And I'm like, enzymes. You know what I mean? I think, has anybody ever watched a movie and you see product just in the movie? They don't stop and do a commercial for the product, right? It's movie product placement. They put it there for a reason because it works. And I like to think about that kind of strategy when I'm doing social media posting. I want people to ask me these questions. I don't want to sit there and be like, and blah, 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 blah. Nobody cares about the science of aloe. Nobody cares about it. I don't know how it works. All I know is my kid had eczema like nobody's business, right? He was on every kind of steroid, cream, and digestible version of steroids. Nothing was working. I gave him 4 ounces a day of natural aloe, and literally in less than a week it was completely gone. Now, I can't promise you it's going to cure your eczema, but all I can say is, hey, this worked. If you ask me how, I'll say I don't know, because I don't. But the story's going to sell more product than me posting about the science of aloe. Does that make sense? Product placement. Stories sell. And so we forget that on social media because we're hiding, so we get brave and we write these big write-ups that nobody reads. All right, so I do 80-20, you could do 70-30, but what you don't want to do is you don't want to pass 50-50. Some of us professionally are in a place where we can do more business posting, like yourself. That's what you do. Part of who you are is marketing. Go for it. Some of us want to grow into that. For me, I had to grow into those shoes as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, because I had a dance background, right? So I couldn't just, out of the gate, now all of a sudden I'm this, that, and the other thing. It's like, no, you're not. You got to ease your way in. You got to build yourself up. It takes time. You got to do it the right way. Have a complete profile. Who are you? Not who is the company. Not who is your sponsor. Who are you? Keep it short. You ever scroll in your newsfeed and you have these people that like write these epics for their status update? Do you ever read them? No. So don't do that. I'll tell you, like a couple of weeks ago, I was at this. I was at a local seminar in our area. And a bunch of the women that were there, we took this picture together. We're not even on the same team. We're in different lines of sponsorship, but we're best friends. We go on a week-long vacation together every year, just women. The only rule is no men, no children. Nice. It used to be girls' night. It turned into girls' weekend. It's officially girls' week on the Cape. Girls' week, yeah. That's what my husband said. My husband's like, I just can't wait till it turns to girls' month. He's so over me. Anyway, I'm kidding. But anyway, I'm taking this picture, and like in my heart, I just, I grew up in the ghettos of Newark, New Jersey, right? Like we had a studio apartment, a single mom, like no bedrooms, and 3 kids, bunk beds, in a 1-room house. And then we lived there until we got evicted. Like that was how I lived. I went to college. I never lived anywhere long enough to have relationships like that. To feel so grounded and rooted. We're just talking about this, not like that in depth, but at dinner, so like I have roots now, and I'm like looking at this picture and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like, I got so welled up about it. But I didn't sit there on Facebook and like write this like soliloquy. You know, I was just like, oh, I just feel so blessed. Like I'm so happy. I'm so grateful. And I mean it. That's all it is. It's one word. It's one word to describe exactly what it was at that moment. Was grateful. I didn't have to write all of this, and then you know what happens? People are like, yeah, I like that. But if I wrote the big paragraph, I'd be like, she's a little crazy. Lay off the coffee. You know, but wait. Media-rich posts. So, you know, if you have a picture, if you have a video, if you have a link, those tend to get the most responses. Now, I'm talking about Facebook a lot because that's where what our people are, right? So, right now you can upload multiple pictures to a single post. Keep in mind that what I have found in our team, and probably you have found as well, is that when you do multiple pictures to a post, you get less likes than if you had just chosen one, okay? So, do you know what I mean by that? I want to say it one more time because I just want to make sure. So you can upload a single picture with a status update, and you'll get a response. But if you choose to upload more than one picture, you generally get less response. So just choose one, even if it's difficult. You'll get a bigger one. Call to action, right? So whether it's in the status update, whether it's in the comment feed, or whatever it is, in the follow-up call to action. No mass messaging. I love this. I have a woman on my team who is a lawyer and a registered nurse at a hospital. So she does cases all week long. She works 3 overnight shifts at the Bay State Hospital in Springfield, Massachusetts. She's totally nuts. Crazy, crazy smart lady, just whatever. And so she calls me up and she goes, hey Sarah Rose, listen, I'm like really stressed out. I don't think my house or apartment is big enough because I'm gonna have like 300 people at my home business presentation. I'm like, oh my gosh, Lynn, really? This is amazing. Now listen, I'm thinking in my head like she's serious. She knows everybody, right? And she had done the business like 10 years ago before it is what it is now, like shop.com. And so I'm like, oh my God, what are you gonna do? And she goes, yeah, I mean, I sent out a message to literally every single person on my Facebook. And so I know like this is gonna get crazy. And I was like, listen, yeah, right, exactly. So that brings up a major point. Social media, that's what a lot of people do. They think that they're what? You hear JR talk about this, work smarter, not harder. And so people take that and they misapply that, that very smart message to this kind of a thing. And they go, I'll just mass message everybody at once and I will sell out my event. Do I know how many people came to her event? 5. You want to know why? Because I made her call like 10 people on the list. I was like, no, you're calling and confirming these people. You can't just assume they're going to show up. And by the way, how do you plan for something like that? Right? So, but guess what happens when you mass message someone? Number one is, who's been mass messaged before? Isn't that obnoxious? Don't do it to people then, right? What do you see? You see so-and-so left the conversation. So-and-so left the conversation, right? That's all you see. So number one, it annoys people. Number 2, it gives them an easy out, right? If you had one-on-one messaged me and asked me to come to something socially as your friend, I have an obligation to at least respond. I have an obligation to give you the courtesy of saying I'm not available or I am available. But if you send me a mass message with 300 people, I don't have to say anything. So you're giving people the easiest out ever if you start mass messaging people. Does that make sense? So don't do that to yourself. It's a huge disservice. And finally, social media is not a replacement for one-to-one marketing. It is an enhancement of that. It just makes it so that you can do it while you're on your lunch break. You can do it in your, how many people have scrolled through a newsfeed today at least twice? Everybody. So can you do that, lucratively instead of just doing it to zone out? You can. And then finally, remember to follow up and respond. And I'm going to show you a couple of examples really quickly, and then we're going to talk about one more thing. So this is a picture of makeup that I did. When I say I mean somebody else put on me because I don't do makeup ever. So I did my makeup for this event, had a ton of comments, and Shaniqua, who I went to, we go to church together, she said something like, you cannot even read that, but it says something to the effect of, hey, I remember you gifted me some of those, a while back. So I ran out, is there any way I can get some more? And my response was absolutely, and by the way, this was at World Conference, I said, we just came out with new colors from the La La line, you're gonna love them. So I come back from Miami and I sell her some product. It's all from posting a picture. You notice how I didn't just sit there and post a picture of the Element palette, right? People don't want to see the packaging. They want to see the product in use. Does that make sense? It's the product placement idea. If you are scrolling through your newsfeed and you see a bottle of something that's going to help you lose weight, do you ever click on it? No. Nobody does that, so don't post a picture of CLA, post it before and after. And it doesn't have to be a picture of you wearing makeup or your before and after. It could be you sharing a third-party testimonial. Do you see how this is literally the exact same thing that we do, just online? Third-party testimonials work online even more. And then, by the way, I posted this as well. This is a private message because not all of the response and the sales that you make for the product are going to happen in the comments. Some of them are going to happen on other platforms. This is a private message from Ruthie, who also went to the same church as us. And she goes, she asked for something. I said, hey girl, I'm flying to Miami, but you can check out my site, moduscosmetics.com, Your Reality. I have a few recommendations for colors for you. Let me know if you want some suggestions or need help. And she goes, okay, I will. I say, abrazo. She says, okay, what suggestions do you have for me again? Right? So we're talking, we're going back and forth, and same thing. She ends up buying a ton of stuff. But it's all from this stupid little picture, the product placement. I'm not selling anybody anything. I'm sharing the product in use. That is an active profile. So you can go ahead and click. And one last thing, I want to show you that, again, not all follow-up happens online. That's important for gauging whether what you're doing is working, is make sure you track the kinds of results that you're getting. So this is a picture of my little dude, and he's got his, those are the two guys he sleeps with every day, and he's got his DNA gummies, right? And so I wrote, hashtag DNA gummies are a hit in our house, woohoo, can't wait to get them some more. And I get a bunch of like comments, or just one comment because when I took this, and then a couple of likes or whatever. My sister, who's 29, my little sister, calls me up on the phone and she goes, hey, I saw the picture of E with the gummy vitamins. Are those any good? And I'm like, yeah.
No, I give my kid bad stuff.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, exactly. No, I feed him poison. And so I'm like, of course they are, but yo, you don't have any kids. Did you get that?
Yes, yeah.
Yo, you don't have any kids. You know, why are you gonna have the DNA? She goes, well, I take the Flintstones. Are these better than those? And I'm like, first of all, you need an adult vitamin. You need an adult multivitamin. Second of all, if you're not gonna take an adult multivitamin, yeah, the DNA vitamins are better than Flintstones. So it's like, again, the Flintstones. I'm like, straight up, she's 29. She just finally had a child, and she does give her. There's like 3 products that the baby's on already. But in any case, but it's so funny because we post things and we wait for the comments. Sometimes it's a text message. Sometimes it's a phone call. Sometimes it's nothing at all. It's a conversation that somebody has with you over a dinner at somebody's house. Does that make sense? Okay, so all right, this is a picture of a bunch of random clothes I bought through a partner store express, and I wrote, now that's my kind of mail, and I hashtag express, paid passion for fashion, paid to shop, and then I wrote my address, cashbackma.com. That's my shop.com address. And so whatever, this is on Instagram, there's a bunch of stuff, you see some comments there, or whatever, but then literally, and by the way, don't buy clothes online. Like, I always say I'm gonna return stuff, I never do. And my husband, like, everything actually on my body was in that box, but that's fine. So, shopping online is a little dangerous, but I buy all this stuff, and then my friend, who's like a total hippie, and I mean total little hippie, she's a massage therapist, she works 2 days a week, like Dave Matthews, the guitar player, is her client, like, she doesn't have to work more than that, and all she does is like walk her dog and do yoga in the woods every day. So she had to like, I know, and so she had to buy these like shoes for some event, like a wedding that she was going to, and she's like, I don't know how to do any kind of shopping, like in the store, online, or whatever, but I know you're good at it, can you help me? And I'm like, hey, she's like, yeah, but it's like she sees that I'm posting about shopping, and she's like, oh, Rose can help me, you know what I mean? My good co-friends call me Rose, sometimes like from Titanic. So anyway, so I was like, yeah, I can help you out. So I help her find what she wants. She gets them literally like 50% cheaper than what she was expecting to spend, and that's that. I have another dance student who's 17. She's incredibly talented. She wanted to go to Alvin Ailey in New York. And so she had to get a new leotard and like outfit to wear for the audition, and she also needed like a nice outfit to wear for the interview. So same thing, she texts me, she goes, hey, Miss Sarah, is there any way you can help me? Like, I only have $100 to spend, and I know that I'm, like, that's not enough. And she's right, like a good leotard is like $60, $70, and then that leaves you with 30 bucks to find a slamming outfit, and listen, I can do it in like for nothing, you know what I mean? Like, let me help you out. So I help her find everything. She gets a preferred customer account based off of this stupid picture of express clothes in a box. Again, right? The follow-up is not only gonna happen online. And then finally this, allergies got a little crazy this week. OPC3 is a lifesaver, and that was Twitter. I hashtag allergies relief and thank you. And the same thing, dance student mom, a mom of a dance student was like, oh my God, all of my kids are dying. What is OPC3 and how can it help me? Like, do I need a prescription? I was like, you don't need a prescription. It might be able to help you. Let me give you some to try. And she ended up, I give her a 30-day thing to try and she loved it. Right? Again, you just have to, you have a product place and you have to be aware of the fact that one-to-one marketing, one-to-one marketing, one-to-one marketing. Make sense? All right, so we'll advance one more time. And I know I spent a lot of time on that, but it's critical because if you're going to hashtag search, you need to have the fundamentals down. The foundation needs to be there or you're not going to get any results because people are going to think you're not a real person and that you're spamming them. So before we do, let me see how we're doing here. Perfection. Before we get into the contacting and stuff, I want everybody to just literally make one post right now. We call this fishing. You guys hear that concept? You fishing. You're just throwing a bait out. And so if you go to like my Facebook or whatever, like all I do is post a picture of dinner. You know what I mean? It could be anything. It could be a status update or whatever. But just go like right now, make one post, talk about what you're doing or what your day was like or whatever. Make one active thing because if we get into hashtag searching, you need something recent. And by the way, please don't be quiet. It makes me uncomfortable. I don't like that. No, like really. It's like awkward. No, good. I can sing. You don't want to?
Yeah, I was just gonna tell you, we can put some music.
Yeah. Well, that might mess up. When we get to the other parts, it'll be chatty. Trust me, because we're all gonna be like, hey, what should I say? By the way, that's the best part about doing a social media contact workshop is like you're not on the phone with somebody, so before you respond to a post, you can be like, hey, what do I say? You know what I mean? It's really nice. It's hot in here.
Stick your head in the freezer.
Oh, right? Oh, my don't get me at a good time. I'll do it. So, Elsie's like, Sarah Rose is cray. I'm like, Kevin, did you make a post?
I have to clean. I have to get my Facebook cleaned up. Right?
Yes. I know you do.
I know.
Hi. You do. I went to your profile.
It's like 5 years, 6 years old. I have never even been back there.
All right. Okay.
How do I get rid of all those people?
Do you want to? Hi. Do you want to start over, Kevin, or do you want to just like put them in a group? Do you want to?
I don't know.
Well, hello, Kevin.
We need to talk about this.
Yeah. Because I got a lot of crazies.
I've had people write the weirdest things on my post. I did an awake shot thing, and somebody wrote, oh my gosh, my health has significantly improved since taking awake. I was like, what are you talking about? This is not a health product. Like, this is...
And the crazy people, a lot of them, they post stuff like that.
Yeah, they
and
do.
It scares
your people.
Yeah.
Hey guys, do you guys want to, can we just talk about that real quick while you're posting? When you have business partners, whether they're in your direct line of sponsorship or not, this is important actually. So when other people are posting things, just like it or just say something short. You don't have to like write your whole life story as a comment and how it changed your life. Just like it so that you can show support. That's helping people. Does that make sense? So I do that to people I don't even know. Yeah.
I have a question. So my Instagram is not personal. It's basically my brand.
Yeah.
And so I'm very private. Like I've only started posting pictures of myself, and they're usually in group settings when I started Market America.
That's totally okay.
So,
but that's how you set your brand up, your
so
profile up. The thing is that most people haven't done that. Most people have their profile for themselves, and they start trying to integrate business, but then they forget their personal stuff. If you haven't even set it up like that, then just keep doing it. Yeah, it's cool.
It's just that I set it up with crochet, so I kind of eliminated a lot of my crochet people.
Yeah.
So, but I feel like, it's my Instagram, I'll do what I want. But
yeah.
A lot of them did stick around, so now I kind of like mix it up.
Yeah.
Because my brand is now Market America and my crochet.
If you go, and that's okay. That makes sense. It's all business. But if you go to my Instagram, it's yoga, it's running, it's food, it's my kids, it's me, it's everything. It's me. Like when you go there for the first like within the first 10 posts, you'll have an exact idea of who I am. But that's how I've set mine up. So if you're doing yours for business, it's totally okay.
But I did kind of like inundate my Facebook with a lot of entrepreneurs, I'm gonna have to tone that one.
Gotta tone it down, because if you don't tone it down, you're gonna be like, all right, now watch what happens. You guys think it's addition by subtraction, right? Addition by subtraction, less is more. If you do less of that, you're gonna get more people that wanna talk to you and more people that will respond to you. So this next section is gonna be combined, okay? This is where we're gonna do a lot of the actual work. We're gonna start doing the actual work. I just wanted to lay the groundwork out for you guys. It's warm market stuff. And what a warm market basically is people that you already know. It's your network, it's people in your current friends list or whatever. So let me get this out. Raise your hand, did y'all bring your names list? Or a names list? Okay. So if you don't have it, it's okay for now, we can make it work. But Kevin talked earlier, and he said people come to the table with 6 to 10 names, and then they can't figure out why they're not bulletproof. All this stuff works against them. And we talked about why that happens. It happens because they're afraid that you're going to ask their friends to see the plan. And I'll tell you, people have done that to me. It's crazy. We had a senior business partner that called my uncle, and my uncle owns he owns part of New England Coffee. You know what I mean? Like Arctic Falls and all this stuff. And has a 20,000 square foot home with a retractable ceiling. And so when this dude calls my uncle up and asks him to see the plan, I was so irritated. I was like, I wasn't ready to have that conversation yet. Do you know what I mean? So don't rush it. Don't do that to your people. You have to do the work in between, the prospecting. So you have your names list, and I wrote down, business names list or your retail names list. I mean, for us, for web centers, we separate it. You don't have to do that. And I said, okay, great. Let's talk about how we can initiate contact with people on our names list. What does that mean? What are you going to say to people? What are you going to tell your business partners to say to the people on their list? Does anybody have an idea of what we should say to people that are on your names list? Kevin?
Well, if you have them on your names list, you're going to find them on Facebook, right?
Right, you're going to find them
And
on
the nice
Facebook.
thing about Facebook is in the old days, we had to create a what? A bio. In other
Right.
words, why are these people? Because we're going to take our names list. Who are the first 10 people we're going to contact, right? Because you got to start with somebody. Somebody's going to be number one, and then you got to have an idea who you're going to be next, right? So the thing is you have to create a bio. But see, with Facebook, the bio's already there. They have the profile. They've done the work for you. That's just the thing I like about Facebook. And then what happens is you have an idea. So what you're going to do is you're going to try and find something in there that you can identify or you can talk about, and then basically keep it short, sweet. Just put it up. Hey, saw this. I'd like to sail myself. Okay?
Yeah.
I don't know how to sail, but I love being on a sailboat versus a powerboat or something.
Exactly. It's social. There's no part of the business that comes up in this conversation, and that's why it's so easy.
I did it with a guy I hadn't seen in 40 years. 30 minutes. Let me get 30 years. Okay. In high school. Okay. 40 years. And over 40 years. But the thing was, I saw that he was in Raleigh, North Carolina, 70 miles away. And a lot of the stuff I do to see if it works, so I can share it with you. So all I did was say, hey, see you're in Raleigh. God, how long it's been? 40-some years. Can you believe it? Time flies. See that you're an insurance agent in Raleigh, North Carolina. Maybe we can get together for lunch sometime. That's it.
Easy. That's it. But do you agree
It came
that
right back.
people would not be afraid to put 300 names on a names list if they knew that was the process, right? For real? Exactly. It's the major difference between whether people get their 2 people right away or don't. It's if they can do that part of the process. We just had, here's the thing. He's 100% spot on. You find the people on your names list on Facebook, you do a little bit of candidate research, you figure out what's going on in their life, and you connect. My husband just did this with someone he used to work with at Yellow Book. Hey Steve, it's been years since, the Yellow Book days. Are you still there? What have you been up to? That's it.
You hear me say this all the time. What do I always say? It's conversation, not presentation. It's not presentation. It's conversation. As soon as you introduce presentation, exactly, and you start scripting, and you sound like a human tape. You sound weird, okay? And it scares people. And whether you realize or not, they know, and you feel a little stressed because you're regurgitating.
They pick up on
They
it.
pick
Oh,
up
for
on it,
sure.
like a
People
dog
want to be
smells
strict.
fear, like
They
a
pick
dog
up on it.
smells fear. And they're like, what's wrong with you, Lisa? Whatever it is you got is making you sound that way, I don't want any of it. And so don't even bring it up. You with, does everybody follow this? Think conversation, not presentation, and that's all you're doing. You just get the conversation going, get it engaged, and keep it going, okay? It'll take care of itself.
Yeah, and by the way, isn't it easier to carry a conversation with words that are authentic to you? Like,
Yeah.
there's nothing to memorize, there's nothing to fake. It's, you are just being you, you're just making a connection. This may or may not be for you. That sounds weird, but the truth of the matter is that when you're ready to have that conversation, people respond to that versus you just coming at them like that. Can you go ahead and go forward? So, you can go forward, another one, and then another one. So when I go to, and I find somebody on my names list, these are some of the things that, well, you don't have to look at the website possibilities. This is, like, I've done this kind of a course with my team before. But business possibilities, I just want to get a general idea for what they've been up to. So I just look for, what have they been up to? Where are they currently working? You can usually find that out, whether they're complaining about their job or whether they've listed it as a profession or whatever. If there's a person that I used to work with in college at the music library as a work-study program, they're probably not still doing that, right? It was a student work position, but what are they doing now? Do they have kids? Do they have a family? Do they have any hobbies, interests? What are they complaining about? Because you'll believe me, people do it. How often are they posting? Is this really a good way to actually contact them, right? Maybe they don't actually post but once every couple of months. Do they use social media often? And all of this information helps you to form a good question to make an initial connection, period. You're not coming at them and presenting an idea to them. All you're doing is asking them about one of these things that you've kind of found out by just looking at their profile in 30 seconds. This is not meant to be busy work, right? And so what we do with our team is, you can sit down and you can just say, okay, go through everybody on your list, and in 5, we do the 2 a day, right? That's our rule. If you're going to be on our team, you need to connect with 2 people a day on social media, right, guys? 2 a day, like brushing your teeth, twice a day. You can knock that out in 3 minutes. Start a conversation with 2 people that you haven't done. And you know what? When we ran out of names, personally, you know what we did? We whipped out our old high school yearbooks. We started looking people up on social media. Totally forgot about this person. Oh my gosh, are they on Facebook?
You have a bandwidth of 7 years. Everybody understand that? You've got the year you graduated, 3 years before you graduated, and 3 years after you graduated. All those people you were in high school with at that 7 years,
It's a lot of people.
There's a lot of people. A lot of people. And let me tell you what
I never
works.
thought about that. That's
It's
true.
true. So what I tell them to do is we go through all those. Look them all up. Look them all up. I don't care if you hung with them. I don't care whether you knew them or not, because let me tell you what, especially when, like, for example, when you get my age, that guy I was telling you about sells insurance, he was the ball boy. He had the big green bag of football, he drove the football out. Okay? You know what I told him? Probably them losing it, like, man, didn't you we played for the state championship. I said, didn't you play cornerback, on that state championship team? Man, let me tell you what, he couldn't wait to talk to me. The guy's lost his mind. He's going to make me feel like a champion. He was the ball boy.
Yeah.
But you understand, and especially as you get older, none of you my age, but as you get older, everybody's running out of runway. Everybody got that?
Mm-hmm.
And so they have a tendency to want to reconnect and just talk about some of the young days. I'm not going to say the good old days, but some of the things, people like that, what's up, that's what they want to do, okay? And they will come back to you all the time, all the time.
It's a good point. I mean, that is so huge. And by the way, don't forget every job you ever had. Don't forget, think about who your coworkers were at your first job. Gary Rogers is a director with the company. He used to be horrible with social media until we talked about it in a one-to-one sense. He's been doing this. You know what he found out? All of his friends, he's in his mid-50s. He is not old. But like all of his friends are either like sick, they're miserable, or they're dying. Like it's crazy, like in your mid-50s, so he's got all these possibilities that he totally forgot about or didn't forget about, but it was socially awkward for him to pick up a phone and call some dude he knew 20 years ago. Social media gets rid of that. And so if you're looking for a way to expand your network and to get rid of that awkward, icebreaker kind of thing, this is it. Initiate 2 a day.
just remember, you're gonna capitalize on the fact that they wanna be popular. I mean, you know, my daughter says if you don't have X number of friends, you're lame. You know what I mean? So my whole point is this, so everybody wants names, right? So they're 99.997% of the time, they're gonna accept you. Whoever you put it out there, because they just want what? They want a friend because it makes them popular. You don't care for, well, maybe you do, but like me, I don't care about friends, I care about getting names. You with me? And the thing is once they accept you, they give you permission to reach out and contact and send a message. So guess what? You throw the message out, they're gonna come back.
Okay, so that's it. That's exactly what the next slide is. You are a genius. He's a professor. We are done.
I learned it all the hard way.
All right, so let's advance. So here's the thing. We're going to do this, but what I want everybody to do is just understand the goals of contacting. This is initial contacting within your warm markets. The first goal is to just start a conversation, reconnect over something that you found either in common or whatever. Second is to end in an open-ended question. You don't want to be like, hey, things look really great. What does that do? It's conversation ender, right? Just say, how have you been? What have you been up to? Don't ask a yes or no question. Ask something open-ended and actually genuinely care about what they're going to say. By the way, you were talking about, what was your first name again? Yes, Robert. You were saying that people can pick up on it. People can tell if you care too, by the way. Even if it's online, they can totally tell. So care. All right, ask an open-ended question. Get them talking more. What do you think people are going to be more excited to do? Hear about everything you're up to or talk a little bit about what they've been up to? Yeah, so the goal is to be very, small and just always turn around and not make yourself small, but you don't want to be verbally vomiting on people. Just turn it around and make it about them. You can do this in a private message or in a comment, right? So you can comment on somebody's thing, or you can totally just private message them and just be like, what's up, right? Now, once you've got that happening and you have a conversation going, this isn't going to happen in the first initial contact, but the next goal is to then expose what? Pain or need. How have things been? Oh, you didn't get to take a vacation this year, why not? Oh, you don't have enough time, why not? Have you tried any other options? Have you looked into any other options? You notice how I'm not just going for the kill, I'm asking more questions so that I can expose specific issues that I can make a recommendation for. What do you think it's easier to do, sell a product or solve a problem? Solve a problem any day, all day long. Yes?
Can I access this somewhere online?
We're going to email it to everybody. Yeah. Yes. I just want to say that one more time because this was another big thing for me. As a business owner, we think that we're in the business of selling, but if you can switch your thinking to be in the business of solving problems, it's a way funner process. So find out what the problem is and solve it. If it's time, it's the business. If it's allergies, it's maybe OPC3. If it's migraines, it could be magnesium, right? Whatever it is, make a recommendation based on how this goes, and then eventually your solution is not to necessarily solve their problem in a conversation online, but it's to schedule some sort of an appointment, whether it's a plan or it says website appointment. Again, I've used this in our team stuff. Event, follow-up, or purchase even. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take 15 minutes, and I want everybody to whip out their names list, do some research, find some people, and start conversations with people on your names list that you would not have done so otherwise. So I want you to not whip out your chicken names list, but people that you were maybe not thinking about talking to. Does that make sense?
And take this serious and please do this, because guess what? If you don't do it here, while you have the support of everybody else, because we're going to share everybody's experience, okay?
Yeah.
You won't do it when you go home.
Yeah.
Okay? And the thing is you can't teach what you don't do. You need to teach your people this.
Okay. Oh. By the way, can you just advance to the next slide real quick? By the way, you can also use this as a way to respond. You can initiate conversation with someone on the list, or you can even scroll through your news feed and find people that are already complaining and just, apply it that way as well. It doesn't have to just be someone on. You can go back to the goals, maybe back one. Yeah, thank you. All right. Can we all just pause a second, because this is a really good teaching moment. So she just had somebody that she hasn't seen in 4 years. She's talking to them, or talking to her, and she got a response, and right away, now this is kind of an anomaly, right? But right away, the woman's like, I want to know more about your business. What have you been up to? So how do you respond to that? Two important things to keep in mind, right? If you give people just enough information to make an uneducated decision, they will. All right, so what is your goal? Is your goal to tell them all about the business in a private message or to get them to see the big picture?
Right.
Right, so you want to sell the appointment. Always sell an appointment. Don't give them just enough information to make a bad choice, right? Number two, because it's been so long, I would say something positive about how my business has been going and just say, you know, we're still expanding. We're always looking to work with great people. What have you been up to? Right away, I would say something quick, short, sweet, and then turn it around. And let her talk about herself a little bit, and then if she wants to see more, you can just, you know, schedule an appointment. Goal is to start a conversation, make a recommendation, and then sell an appointment. So go ahead.
That part.
Sell it. Go for it, girl. Schedule that appointment. That's awesome. Just if she wants to see it, don't stop her. You know, when we say that we wanna build it, it's because we want people to not be afraid of us scheduling an appointment. But if they're not afraid, then go for it.
I think a lot of people think that people don't want to
Mhm.
and they shy away from the people who
What are you
sharing.
afraid of? Exactly.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah. That's awesome though. That's amazing. Are there any other like things that are coming up that you're curious about or that you find happening a lot, even if it's not today?
You know what I noticed?
Yes.
Share. Some people who you may speak to about the business and you wait a while and then you talk about several other things. And it may go on for a couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And then you don't talk about the business anymore. And they'll say, like somebody said to me yesterday, oh, how's your business going? And I said, oh, you know, yeah, I have to send you some links so you can really check it out.
Mm-hmm.
And I sent her all of a few things, and now I wait.
That's how almost every single one of mine goes.
You don't really push.
You gotta be patient.
You have to be patient, but it does work.
Mm-hmm. That's huge, by the way. Is I think that sometimes people get discouraged if they don't see that initial like hard result right away.
Yeah.
But our goal is to start conversations so that we have an opportunity to make a recommendation before we can schedule an appointment. We can't do those things until we start a conversation. Everybody skips it, right? I did.
It's very, you have to do soft sell.
When I started my business, I didn't do that. I went right to scheduling plans. And I couldn't figure out why people weren't responding. Well, I was scheduling plans, trying to solve a problem I didn't know people had, right? So you can't solve a problem if you don't know what it is. You figure out what it is by asking questions.
I think it's important to ask questions before you think. You don't know how to start a conversation if you don't know about the person. So if there's no way to like research online to get to know the person, or like she said, how she's just a friend and can't really go on her site and figure out like anything about her. Like I always find that it works to just hit them up and say hi. I'm right here, and just say something like, I have that same shirt. Where'd you get it? Or something like that. And if you're gonna respond, then it's a real person.
Yep. I love that. It's totally true. So, do you guys want to move forward to the next level? Okay, so let's go ahead and advance, I think, 2 slides. We'll see in just a sec. Yeah, actually, go back to that just real quick. Just keep this in mind, too. So, if you find that you run out of names on your names list, or, on your actual physical names list, don't forget that some of the people on your Facebook, your Instagram, your Twitter might not actually be on your piece of paper. So and by the way, some of the people on the piece of paper that you spoke to, maybe it's a good time to reconnect. So one of the quickest ways to get a quicker response is literally just open up your Facebook and scroll down the news feed and figure out what people are posting about. Does that make sense? And then if you find things, let's see, look at this. I am in first class on my way to Santa Monica with my husband for 4 days alone. Oh my God, this has never happened before. I haven't had time off in forever. Way too long since we went away, just the 2 of us. And you see all these people saying, enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. You want to know what my question's going to be? That's awesome. You guys are the best. You should do it more often. Or, when's the next time you're going? That kind of thing. So that's the kind of thing that's going to keep a conversation going. But I wouldn't have just known that because maybe I already talked to the person on my list. I just went through my newsfeed. Responding is just as effective as initiating. Actually, I'm just going to write that real quick.
don't forget to go through the people that accepted you as a friend. Don't forget to go through their friends. All your people that accepted you as a friend, make sure you go, you know, and maybe 10, lay in bed at night and just go through, read some things about their friends. Because then you can find something and then send them a friend request. Again, even though they don't know you or however, it doesn't matter, they're gonna accept you. So if I follow me. In other words, there you can go through the bio, wow, you know, and I did this, okay? Found this friend of mine, okay, I went to high school with, okay? She accepted me as a friend. I went through her friends and I found this real estate agent in Little Rock, Arkansas, okay? And all I did was found something in common, sent her about, you know, a 2-sentence thing, you know, hey, you're a friend of so-and-so. The reason I'm, you know, reaching out to you is because I like the Allman Brothers too, or something like that. You with me? So guess what? She accepted me. Back and forth, I said, you know, I come to Little Rock every now and then. I don't, okay? But the thing is you know, when I come there every now and then, maybe we'll get together for lunch. So the first time I go to Little Rock, I haven't been there in 10 years. Guess what? I'm gonna contact her and have lunch with her.
Exactly.
She's very, very successful real estate. So she knows a lot of people.
Can I just say one more thing? You just like triggered a thought for me. Don't assume that people do or don't need this, right? I don't know about you guys, but I've tried to make this work for people that don't want to make it work, even though they need it. You know, like my mom needs this so badly, but she won't do it. You can't force somebody, and also don't assume that people have everything they need. I met a guy in London this year, millionaire, $5 million businesses, and you want to know why he needed this? He saw his fiance just 3 days a week, because he was sleeping in random apartments all throughout the United Kingdom so that he could run his other businesses. He wanted to get rid of some of them. You know, money doesn't define success, so just find out what people want so you can solve a problem, whatever that problem may be. All right, so we're going to talk about hashtag searching. Okay?
That's the one thing you just triggered a thought.
Okay, I like how this works.
Let me finish this. The reason and here's the approach I'm going to take with her. I'm going to ask her to meet me for lunch. And guess why I'm in Little Rock? I'm looking to expand my business in Little Rock, Arkansas. And I was wondering, maybe you might know the right people for that expansion. I'd like to take 30 minutes and give you an overview of what my business is about, so that you can tell me whether you know them or not. I'm really not trying to get her. I want to get who she knows. Okay? And if she says, I don't know anybody who would do this, great. But guess what? There is no GET if you don't ASK.
Oh, that was hot.
What do you like that?
That sounds like
I got a lot of hot stuff.
That's a good Usher song coming
22
in a closet. No, I'm just kidding.
I've been doing this business before you were born.
All right, let's advance. So this next part is real fun. And I found that, you know, after doing this for 8 years, that you run out of names and you just feel like you're just at your end. Like, what do you do next? So do you stop building? Kevin said it. If you want to be successful, you need to have people. People are your inventory. Like you own a retail store, you're going to stock the store with product. You own an internet or a network business like this, your inventory is people. So you got to be proactive. And so everyone, we can stop contacting for 2 seconds. I want to show you the right way and the wrong way to do this and how powerful it can be. Number one, people need our products. Your goal is to find people that you don't know that have a need for our product or the business or something. Expand your network. The goal of hashtag searching is not to make a quick sale. That's not going to happen, so don't expect that to be the result. The goal is to expand your network with more of our inventory. What's our inventory?
People.
People. So if you don't have more people to sell to or to partner with or to network through, then we're done. We're out of business. And so that's really the point and purpose of hashtag searching. So go to the next slide, please. Thank you. So the first thing you need to do is decide what and where you're going to search, right? So we're not talking about people in your names list anymore. We're not talking about people in your friends list. We're talking about meeting new people. So what are some things that, you know, would be beneficial for us to search? Whether it's people in business, time freedom, maybe it's your competition for a product. I'm going to show you an example for how I do this for web centers, okay? You can do that with any product. A specific product complaint. right? So you know who does a really good job of this? Southwest Airlines or JetBlue. You know, they have people on staff that look for people that are complaining about US Airways, and then they respond to those people. They comment. So if I work for JetBlue doing this, I would look for like you complaining about US Airways, and I'd be like, sorry to hear that, you know, maybe we'll get to catch you on your next flight. It's me going fishing for people that are unhappy with our competition, right? So what would we be looking for? People with bad experiences from, like, I don't know, Mary Kay or some other random brand of makeup or some other business or something like that. Specific product complaint for a direct competition. That's a great way to connect with somebody and make a sale. Specific challenges that you can offer a solution for. Maybe types of people. A entrepreneur. You guys heard that term a lot lately? Entrepreneur. Sam, the stay-at-home mom. Work from home. Different phrases or whatever. And then you're going to decide where you're actually going to do the searching. Right, so you know, you can do this on Facebook. You used to not be able to do it on Facebook. It's still a little weird. You actually have to type the hashtag in if you're going to search hashtags. Does everybody know what a hashtag is? And if you don't, do you need me to explain it? Don't be afraid to raise your hand. It's cool? Okay, great. So when you're looking for the hashtag, I look at that as kind of like a card catalog. It just, you know, it brings all of the like posts together so you can scroll through them. When you go to that, you're going to go to the top, the search bar, where you would look for a friend. And you're going to type the actual physical hashtag and then a term. And then anybody that has posted about that term, all of their posts are going to populate. Okay, does that make sense? Great. On Twitter, you're going to click on the little magnifying glass, right? You guys know what the magnifying glass is? Great. Now, one careful thing with Twitter when you're looking here is to make sure that you're actually searching hashtags, not users. Because when you search the magnifying glass on Twitter, it actually defaults to search users. That's not what you're looking for. You're looking for hashtags. And on Instagram, it looks like a compass, like an actual north, south, east, west thing. And it's the exact same thing. It actually defaults to users. You want to click on hashtag. So when I'm looking for people that are really into health and wellness, I might look up people that are, you know, hashtagging paleo or, you know, B vitamins or just something, right? Something common that I can connect with people. So I'm going to show you how it works, and then we're going to do it. If you can advance, I'll show you some examples in just a second. So this is, I chose Facebook. Why did I choose Facebook? That's where the people are, right? So here's the thing, right? Everybody's been here, right? And you've all searched really for your friends up here. Has anybody ever hashtag searched on Facebook? No. Nobody does it, right? You all do it where? Twitter, Instagram, or Twitter. I want you to try it on Facebook. It's amazing. There's so many more people here, so there's a lot more possibilities, and people with money tend to figure this out quicker than Instagram. It's so weird. Instagram is so much easier, but they can figure out Facebook and not Instagram, whatever. So I searched the term hashtag GoDaddy. You know what GoDaddy is? It's a website, it's a cheap website provider. It's just a marketing ploy, FYI. They don't even come close to our product. You know, Danica Patrick is not doing the Super Bowl ads for free or for $4 a month accounts, right? That's their marketing hook. So I searched hashtag GoDaddy. Why? It's a competitor to a product that I sell. What do I sell? Web centers, right? And so if you're selling motives, what could you maybe hashtag search instead?
Bobby
Brown, Mac, something like that. And I'm going to show you this particular example. If we can go to the next slide. These are the posts, some of the posts that I took screenshots of. Now, by the way, you're going to find people that talk about how much they love GoDaddy, and you're going to find people complaining about GoDaddy. You're going to really respond to people that are complaining. So the top here, it says, these are all people I don't know. Number one, since GoDaddy can't get their stuff together, I have no other choice but to move my email over to Google Base and get rid of this dinosaur Outlook. Check, you know, changing isn't always easy. I've been wanting to do this for a while now. I would love any tips or suggestions that you might have to help me ease this transition. Thanks and wish me luck. Do you think it's hard? Am I selling her something? What am I doing?
Switching her.
Solving a problem. I'm switching her, right? So I just found somebody with a problem who asked for my help, and it's not weird. I'm not trying to push something off on somebody that doesn't want what I have. Isn't that easier?
Would you comment or would you
Totally commented. I commented. I said, what have you been, I should have showed actually the whole conversation. I commented, you know, I might have something that could be good for you. What have you looked into, and what are you, what kind of need, what are your needs? Because I didn't want to, I couldn't solve the problem until I knew exactly what she was looking for. How do I know she wants a new website or not? Because I didn't get that from there. Does that make sense? Does that make sense, you guys? Your response to this kind of a message might be another question. It might be a recommendation. It depends on how much information you have. This person, who can recommend a website building company other than GoDaddy website tonight? I am so tired of going to work on our website and finding things gone. Whole photo albums this time, and their formatting tool sucks. Again, am I trying to push a product on this person that doesn't need my help? Of course not. It's so easy to respond here, right? Here's another one. Turns out that there's a bug in GoDaddy's auto-renew feature, so this is my new homepage for the next few hours. Don't worry, the real deal is coming back soon. Thanks, Danica Patrick. And then it's like a picture of the GoDaddy landing page. And then below that, I love GoDaddy's on-hold music. Sarcasm, right? So again, all I did was hashtag search GoDaddy, competitor for MA web centers, and I found all these people that I didn't know that need a new website or need a new solution for hosting or whatever. Start a conversation. Did every single one of them buy a website? No. Who cares? Maybe one of them will. But I can't get unless I what?
So complaints are leads.
Yes, preguntas. Huh?
Complaints are leads.
Yes, complaints are leads. So this is critical, guys. You guys see how much fun this can be? One thing to keep in mind, when you're responding to posts like this with people that you don't know, don't be like you're scripted, right? Because automatically they're going to be like, who is this person and is this a real person, right? So make sure that you're just being real. You ask a question and you're connecting with somebody because you have a solution for a problem that they were complaining about.
You don't need a 9-page white paper.
Oh gosh, please don't do that. Don't shoot yourself in the foot before you even get in the door. So if we can go to the next slide, this is the last slide before we get to try it. I find this really fun. It's easy. I don't know, it's not me convincing somebody they need something. It's me responding to issues and how I can help. I like helping people. So here's how we do it. This is your checklist, so everybody check it out, and then we're going to do this together. Number one, you're going to pick a platform that you currently have a mobile app for on your phone or something that you have open. It can be Twitter, it can be Instagram, it can be Facebook, whatever. I just used Facebook because most people have never done it and don't realize how powerful that is. That's why I showed you that example. 2, pick a product that you want to sell more of. So does everybody have a product in their head that they might want to sell more of? It could be the business, it could be a specific product or whatever, yeah? Okay, then you're going to pick a term that someone might be complaining about on social media that your product could help them with. So for example, if it's migraines, magnesium. If you're trying to sell more TLS, look up for people that are trying to lose that summer, whatever pounds, or the bikini body, or just some term that's going to give you an open door to sell more TLS product. If it's allergies, right, it's OPC3. That's not a big one right now. I think the biggest ones right now are probably TLS, money, issues. Those tend to come out right now in the summertime during vacation season, and they kind of come out around the holidays, right? So money complaints are big right now. Then you're going to search that term, and you're going to respond. And with your response, it's going to be a conversation. You're going to be building value, asking more questions, and making a recommendation for whatever it is that you're trying to help them with, okay? Did you want to add anything? No, you just want to sit down? So let's try that. Does anybody have questions about how to do this? All right, let's just do it then. Pick a product, pick a platform, search it, respond.
What's a good hashtag for people who are having money issues?
That's a good one.
Finance.
Broke.
Finance, need money.
Financial debt.
Need money.
Huh?
Financial debt.
Financial, yeah.
Stress.
Stress.
Debt.
Bills.
Yeah.
Bills.
Debt.
You can't
Baby daddy.
Baby daddy.
And here's the other thing, as you build a customer base, you're going to end up having people that have great results with a given product. Okay, so for example, you may have a customer that uses OPC3, it did something for their allergies, it might have done something for their fibromyalgia, it might have done something for their arthritis, it might do something. Does everybody follow what I'm getting at? Now once you have that, okay, what you want to do is you want to capitalize on that because you have something really good to do what? respond to, converse with, so that basically it's hashtag fibromyalgia, hashtag allergies, hashtag
Financial problems.
okay. So you with me?
Yeah. Bills.
Right here.
Oh my God, you know what I just thought of that song? No. So with this, you're gonna click on the back of my glass, and then what comes up is you do the search right here, and you go ahead and say, look, you already did that, GMO, food bait. So look up something. What do you want to sell more of? Which website? So look up GoDaddy. Well, that's it. God's Daddy. I really just wrote God's Daddy. I did it again. GoDaddy. Okay. All right, so GoDaddy. Now, again, you're gonna scroll. Here's the thing, guys. You're gonna scroll through, and some of them are gonna be not good leads, and some of them are. That's what we're doing. We're filtering. Look at that. That's amazing. LeBron James. I'm sure LeBron James is gonna advertise for free too. And sell $4.
You like it?
Interesting.
So I just,
No, I would respond to this one. Just say,
I sent her one.
You made me late because I was here.
I said,
And then I
I
said,
just posed a question, thinking about what's going on this weekend, am I the only one that there's
oh, I love that. So he wrote Squarespace versus WordPress versus Weebly, 1-in-1, and GoDaddy versus Joomla, Drupal 2014. So my response was, thanks for that website.
Yeah, and then I sent her, because I heard her talking about stuff that she.
Sometimes it's not a good time too, so like if they
So I
just
think
like John James is gonna be a lot. So look up.
She talked about her
Look
son,
up,
she talked about how she could help her son more, she talked about how she loves music. And she talked about how she was
right before you guys what happened.
Before we got there.
So just like.
Have him show
Hey,
you.
I thought it was great.
Oh my God, those things not everyone. They're posting like a party.
I would put my site, but she's that is just an example.
They say, yeah, so you just have terms that
You're on the staff.
Okay.
You're part of the staff.
That is nice, I like that.
So you're.
What, right here,
I love
yes,
it. They're not limited to just your followers.
like, you don't even need to do all that work that I just did. Shop.com does everything for you, like, it does all the things for you that day. So, like, if you're like a coupon freak like I am, and there's many of us that are just like you, then you're gonna put like as a hashtag, coupon codes, codes for coupons, codes.
We'll make that so.
This is all about strategies that I see on social media, like just say, ask them if you do social, that they do SEO for your customers. So this is a professional, this could be a good recruiting thing. Or it could be, hey, yeah, I want to do this SEO, that'll be a great networking opportunity. Do the social media, that's a relationship with both, you can get leads from that. You know what I mean?
They have a term for people that can't take pills.
Oh,
Yeah, the people can't.
They can't take
Yeah, there is a word for that.
Well, I'm saying you could hashtag that, because that's.
But if you hashtag can't swallow, you're the whole thing.
I was just thinking the same thing, I was like.
That might not work.
That's.
You know what you could do?
Hashtag gag.
You can create a trend for that. What is a product that we have that helps us relax?
No.
You can recommend, the Bliss stressful, you can recommend,
that.
There's all kinds of things,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right.
Love it.
That's good.
That's search.
But see, once you learn this and you get with the people in your organization, people you brought into the business, that type of thing, you can sit down one night and it can be fun.
Yeah.
You see, if you it is fun. And then you get creative, like, you know.
It's called
We don't want to say hashtag gag. We want, you know.
No, I was just thinking the same thing. I was like, we're not gonna get the right ones.
It's called this foggy.
Dysphagia. There you go. There, I knew that.
You know dysphagia?
Difficulty swallowing.
D-Y-S-P-H-A-G-I-A.
It's the medical term for it.
That's hysterical.
Hashtag
Kevin Bacon has issues.
There's also, like this intravenous vitamin therapy that's really trending right now.
IV thing, yeah.
Yeah, the IV, so it's almost like,
Yeah.
you know, they're charging a whole service just
No,
for
listen, that's a home run. Yeah.
And we do this for
We
free.
do that and you don't have to.
So don't have your background, take this.
You're not sticking a needle in you.
Yeah.
You can take it anywhere, man.
Yeah. But how's that pouch thing going? You know?
That's what I'm saying though, like you're thinking like a customer, that's how you do this. You don't have to be the marketing genius to think like a consumer. You know what I mean? Yes. What's her name?
Yeah, I gotta clean my Facebook.
We should do a training in New York. We should do it. I haven't done one in like a year. Do you want?
You've been hoarding.
Huh?
You've been hoarding.
Yeah.
Wait, we're on Facebook, which is good. My cell is on here.
Did you figure out how to find out everything that's in it you need?
Well, my Facebook page.
That enzymes made a big difference. Like I walked in here like, oh yeah. I usually take the kid one though because I have celiacs, and the kid one, the spectrum line, actually breaks down gluten. So the regular one doesn't. Isn't that right? In case in two.
This service is.
Kev, I have to tell you, I found, this is like crazy. We kept getting these packages in the mail, and I was like, Jordan, what are you doing? Well, when I was putting together the internet marketing trainings, he was learning about daily deals and stuff, so he found all these rings that people were selling for like $10, $15, that really, the original price were $100. He's not. He's buying these rings off his daily deal using my phone and selling them on eBay for $50. Crazy. I know. But it's so funny because I looked at, because I said, look, you don't need to touch your credit cards ever. Secondly, that was pretty expensive. Like, so, but I was like, secondly, I was like, you probably bought more on daily deals than like half the distributor base.
That's unbelievable.
I know. So he kept buying these on eBay. Tell him. Because I'm telling you, like, their deals are ridiculous. Like, it's better than, we used to have MA auctions. But daily deals is better than Groupon because it's less, there's less people on it, so like the deals are still really
I just
good.
posted today because we're doing.
So he's getting sterling silver rings. I mean, stimulated stone, but it's selling. He's like, I said, why did you do that? He goes, well, and I'm just thinking, he has a business on eBay. Like, he sells Minecraft toys to kids. And he got some at Alibaba, which is like, you know, a manufacturing company. So I was just thinking, like, people buy this. And I looked it up, and they sell, so I figured I should buy something else.
So right there, I get IDB and I get, you know, some of that.
Alright, so
She buys it all the time, and that's kind of, so we buy all of
it
it.
is also interesting because this is the trying new things, and if it's needed, you're showing something like deals.
Hashtag hip dysplasia.
He's still drinking surgery.
recharge that. I'm waiting to recharge that. I'm dead. Until the visit. I can't.
OPC for dogs. Yeah,
Somebody else
big
is
dogs,
charging.
big dogs are
Not
susceptible to hip displays.
I'm getting some juice. I don't know.
But your real big dogs, you know, pet health OPC really helps.
So I would say, I would ask this question, I said, are you looking for ways to supplement good behavior, or are you looking for ways to, combat, like the reaction for some of these things? Like, it looks like, this person's not eating it, she's looking for ways to supplement. Just say, so say right now, ask the question, what are you doing to supplement with all of these food allergies? I would say, what are you doing to supplement? There you go.
This is a great training.
Of course.
Oh, wait.
Kids gonna be eating, others gonna be mad.
So, someone's right here. Or join this group,
You
and
got,
then
and all we do is we come in, we just shoot.
oh, join request. Take a screenshot of this.
You know what I'm saying?
And then, that's one of those, since it was in a group, that's a good place to search, you guys, inside of groups. Like, so she just looked at, kids' allergies in Australia. And so there's a group, and it's all people that are talking about kids' allergies. So request to join that group, and then you have all these people you can talk to. It's a great thing, but you know, you have to be approved to join the group before you make a comment. So tomorrow, you'll have a lot of prospects. Yeah. Oh, you can also just, you just push this and this at the same time. And that should take a picture. That's like a gold mine right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like all the people talking about the same thing. Yep. I heard we're also gonna rebrand all of our kids stuff over again, and that'll be nice. It'll be less confusing to people. I can't wait for the football to start. Is he at Lance's tonight doing plays? I heard Lance and Pete Beverly were getting together.
No.
He went to that. He what?
He would be as a kid.
Oh, right.
It'd be interesting to see Lance keeps the kid out of quarterback.
Is he? What?
I said it.
AJ?
We just think he is able to
Probably don't know that.
tell him to kind of not put him in there.
I didn't know AJ was quarterback. I thought he was an older, so he had to play on the line. Oh, Pete's good. Oh, yeah, I guess. No way.
I just think Lance would be like, no.
Well, maybe that's where I'm going to get it. And it's so pretty even without it. Oh, interesting. So, we can do this for like 5 more minutes. Is it 2 hours? Yeah, it's very quick. there's a last slide that shows you. So it's a team. There's a 4-part process. Initiate response.
Like we did inside the church.
Because like that's what I had mentioned in the email, like, since,
So you don't think that fits?
I don't want to bring people out for something that I learned, you know what I mean? And if I was to like, like on how to use other people, you know?
Oh, I didn't see it.
I mean, yeah,
And also, talk about the one in August, and then the second round, and what you want Alice to speak about. Last, so that was when I had 5 so it also was fun, but I had to do like, I had to physically drive all over the So I'm just begging you to look at it. It's very challenging for a conference. So very, ready?
Yeah, let's wrap.
All right, guys, we're gonna wrap it up if that's cool. So just, if you could advance to this last slide. Thanks. Yeah, this is the last one. So you guys, Kevin's gonna talk to you how you get these things. But here's what it comes down to. We talked a lot today, we did a lot today. When you go back with your teams and you do this, you want to break it down. I don't think it's just about hashtagging or just about talking to your warm network. I think it comes down to these 4 exercises that you have to do together as a team. It starts with going fishing, right? Having an active, we call it going fishing, having an active profile, posting things that generate interest, that are not just about business, that are not just about product, that product placement concept. And then secondly, initiating conversation with people that you know and responding to their posts with open-ended questions, right? So that you can identify problems and solve the problems with recommendations and then appointments. And then finally, I love the hashtag search. I think it's fun. I think it's easy. You're dealing with people. It's a positive experience, right? Because people are saying that they need what you have. So all you're doing is solving the problem. And then the follow-up is critical. If people respond to you, you need to respond back. You can't just, throw something out there and leave it on the table. That's not business, right? That's just messing around. You're leaving a lot of money on the table. So I love what Joy said. You're not going to necessarily, with the initial, especially this warm market stuff, you're not going to see a hard result right away all the time. She did right away in your first 3 minutes.
When I was
She just hollered. That's what I love to hear. Yeah. And that's going to happen. Now, that may not have happened if she didn't open up with something random and social, right? If she didn't make that connection. So I'm just saying, sometimes it will happen like that, but most of the time it's like how Joy said, where it's going to take follow-up. It's going to take staying in touch and, building that rapport so you have permission to get to the next level.
And the whole idea is, what's the real result that we're really after, the objective? All we want to do is we want to get a dialogue going. Find somebody to get a dialogue going. Why? Because if they're talking and they're engaged with you, you're going to gather information, right? And that's really the objective, is to gather, engage in a dialogue, conversation, so that you can gather information. They're going to reveal. People love to talk about their favorite subject. Okay, and when I say talk, I know that you're tech, you know, okay? But they love to talk about their favorite subject, which is themselves and their life and what's going on. All you're going to do is continue to probe, and probe. He's going to just probe within that conversation. One last time, then we'll shut up. One of the things is get with your people. This whole lot, remember, everything here we did, we expect to duplicate with people we bring, our business partners that we have in our, you know, our organization, our left and right, you know, sales and distribution organization. So we want to share this and get our people doing this. And the thing is do it with them. That's why you were all invited here, and make it so that we did it together. You with me? Do this. All we want to do is duplicate the same exact thing we did here with your people. Just to help you out, everybody knows the MA catalog, right? You know, you get 5 for $10 or something like that, okay? Get the MA catalog out when you get with your people and go page by page, okay? Let's create hashtag and start thinking for every one of these products. Let's try to, the goal is to create 3 hashtag searches that we can do for each product in the MA catalog, okay? You with me? Like hashtag blemishes. I mean, we've got a tremendous product.
Proactive, right?
Proactive. Yeah, proactive. You know, does everybody follow this? But keep it fun, get creative, get your people there, but do this, you have to do it as a group, okay? Don't send people off to do it individually, okay?
That's a really good, I love that, get the MA catalog out.
I come up with something.
You do. Props. Do you want to end in a song? No, I'm just kidding. We're just done. So, you're going to make sure that they get a copy of this on their
That's what it was.
Yeah.
I knew I had
I
you for
know,
a reason.
I know.
Okay? Listen to me. Everybody listen up, listen up, listen up. Who's got their jump drives with them? Anybody got
Did you just call it a jump drive?
Huh?
What did you call it?
Whatever they call it, jump drive, stick, I call it a stick. Who's got their stick? Let me tell you something, folks. Nobody should be leaving home without their stick with the 3-part video on it. You with me? Somebody wants to see the business?
Boom.
Boom. You're ready to go. Got it? So here's what we're going to do. If you have a stick, I will a jump drive, whatever, you know what I'm talking about. You can USB, whatever they call those things. And I will put this presentation in on there so you have it. And those of you that don't, listen up. You can bring your jump drive to the UBP tomorrow night. Okay, right?
Yes. UBP tomorrow night.
UBP here, 7:30 sharp. Okay, tomorrow night. If you don't have your jump drive with you tonight, I will have my computer with me tomorrow night, and I will download this.
Thanks, guys. I had a lot of fun.
Okay? Thank you so much. Thank you so much.